Hey you guys, it's Marissa again. So instead of asking if anybody wanted to see where I got images, I thought I would just do it. I know there are some of you that actually do want to see, and like I mentioned in my last video, I really enjoy seeing where people get their images. Most of the time they're from magazines, so maybe I could do a separate video because there's just so many different magazines, and I think we all kind of cut maybe from the same ones. So when I started pulling things out, it was all books, and that's pretty, anybody can grab a book, but I guess it depends on what you're looking to cut. There was a time where I was looking for really funky, quirky mixed media stuff. I actually find my vintage stuff from totally different places, so that would have to be a whole separate video if anybody was interested in that. But when I started pulling, there was just too many to pull. I have so many books, but I thought I would just kind of show you what I look for, and it just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. And because I have drawers and folders full of cut up images, I don't really buy books unless they really stand out to me, because I really need to use what I have. So some of this is kind of like duh, but I thought I'd show you. And a lot of them are already cut up, so you know, I didn't have the book to show you. But I like to look for fashion sometimes besides magazines. So this book was, I think, like a French kind of book. And a lot of times when I pull from books, I am looking for backgrounds. And that is one thing that I look for a lot, because I like to collage or create on a page that already has a background, especially in my collage books. So I can't remember which one this was, but I know it was like a Paris themed. So I look, like I said, kind of retro, cartoonish, I guess, like drawing types of books I like to look for. Another thing I look for a lot, we're not there yet. This was one by maybe Tisha Moore. This is she used to put out zines, and I cut this one up. So sometimes I will fussy cut things, or sometimes I will just cut out pieces that I like in it. You know, and I mean, I know it's her work, it's her, well, all of this is other people's work, but I use it for my own personal use. So, you know, like I would probably fussy cut this out. So Tisha Moore is somebody that I used to look for. I also belong to a lot of, not a lot, I shouldn't say that, but I do get a lot of free digital images online, but I also belong to 2 people in Patreon. So that is a lot of my images as well. So I look not only for children's books for my vintage, but I also look for bright and colorful. I think that this one was an Eric, gosh, you know that Hungry Caterpillar book? I feel bad I don't have, you know, the book to show you, but this one was just really funky. And like, this is a person right here, so I would put like a head, but you know, I just cut out. This was when I was actually collaging like Tisha Moore does, and builds people or women with different, you know, like I would probably use this as a dress, and, you know, you would put like a human head on it. So this was kind of, a lot of this is gone because I used it. This is when I was making like bodies and making my own collage things out of just pieces. I have so many drawerfuls of those things that I had to stop. This was a book that was kind of funky, and I really liked it. I think it was like dolls. I like to get a lot of DIY books that just show finished projects. So this, I think, was sewing these dolls, and so I cut out a lot of those because they just looked really kind of steampunkish, you know. This might not be, this is from a huge magazine. When I'm out, I look for local magazines, and I will cut from those as well. And this was another children's book. I think it was like the Stinky Cheese Man or something. It was weird. This is when I was in this like phase. I haven't really used. I would probably cut a lot of this text out though. And here's another one again. Oh, I think it was that one actually that I just showed you the pieces. So these were just like background. Oh, here it is. The Eric Carle, right? The Tiny Seed. So I find a lot of children's books. I don't get that much anymore because I have so many. This was a children's book. Dragonfly, Beetle, Butterfly, Bee. And I will get books like this that just look a little different than your typical butterfly book. And so many of these I haven't even cut up yet, but I have a lot of these types. I have ones about gnomes. I have fairies. Here's another huge, I just saw it in the thrift store at Goodwill and was like, what is this? And this is the Giant Play and Learn. And when I had opened it, I saw these stickers. And at the time, I thought these would be perfect for the people that I like to build. Kind of kitty, you know, but you could, look at all the shapes, you could incorporate it into something. But this is backgrounds, and so you kind of get the idea. I don't even know. I think a kid's supposed to work in it or something. But, you know, I like to look at the time for really big images. So kids' books for my art journal is where I like to look, also for vintage. I also get a lot of quote books. Hold on, I have it down here. Or, you know, here, let's move to this. Another place I like to look are collage artists that release books that are meant for collage. So this is a Robin Marie Smith. So I don't think she sells these anymore. You'd have to probably find these somewhere else. But she released a book. I have James Burke. I have the Dina Wakley that I haven't even touched because I just can't yet. But just obvious. This was actually somebody I found on YouTube, Mimi Bondi. I've used some of these pages. So this is these are like more backgrounds right now. And then this is from Art by Marlene, and I have 2 of her collage papers. So I always look for this specific if I want the kind of art mixed media backgrounds. Another place I look are actually coloring books, and I used to use a lot of coloring books. Because I like the black and white images, I wouldn't necessarily color them. Sometimes you can, obviously. These were not cheap. These were $20 each, but I just loved, I shared these a long time ago in my hauls. Juliet Crane. So these are coloring books, and, you know, I just fell in love with the art when I saw it. So you could totally paint them, which I probably would after I cut it out. You know, I would do that, or, you know, color them in or paint them or whatever. So coloring books, this is one from Somerset Studios, the Coloring Studio. And I think this one has color on one side. See, I would cut up all of those little things on the left. I tear books apart. So, you know, there's a completed project, and then this one, the side where you can paint it or color it. So I used to buy a lot of coloring books as well. Sorry, I know this is probably like boring and like not anything new to anybody, but I thought I'd try. Also, I know a lot of people have heard of is it Dover? Dover, they always have, you know, these illustrations. I'm sorry, you guys. Keep getting up and down off of my chair. It's a high one. My table's high, so I can't see if I'm like, this is horrible video. Not very informative. Dover. So I do have quite a few of these, but this is another butterfly one. And I like them because there's nothing on the other side, so you don't have to worry about cutting into anything. I will show you something else where I used to get butterflies as well. And then this one, these actually do, because I think you're supposed to photocopy them. But a lot of these I used to get too, a lot of the black and white. these spot illustrations. And let me show you where I used to also get images. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am not prepared. I used to buy a lot of wrapping paper, that like this one right here. So I would get images from wrapping paper. I know a lot of us have seen these that you can get in the store. So these like, they look kind of vintage, but this is where I would get a lot of butterflies as well. It would be so pretty on the wall. So I bought another one of these because I cut up the other one. So you can also think outside the box, gift wrap, wallpaper. I'm just going to pull up books here and not be in any particular order. So for quotes, I do like cutting out of magazines, but a lot of the times I also like to pull out of books. I learned this from a mixed media artist. Gosh, I cannot remember her name. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Pack or Die, I think. And she said like these romance love ones just have like so many just not, I don't know how to say it, just a lot of good, like he would show her, he thought, you know, you could totally make a page of, I don't know, neither of them, I don't know, he felt her lips, okay, well, I won't do all that. His eyes still on hers, you know, just all kinds of different text you can pull out of here. I have a couple of like quote books. I think I got this at Marshall's. So, you know, you could use this in anything really, but I would cut out images or I cut out quotes from these kinds of books. I have another one too. Here was a book where it was for like 100 paper fortune tellers, but when I saw it, over here it has like the fortune, so that would be kind of fun to use the text. But on the left side, again, I saw backgrounds and images I could cut out. Oh, that's cute. I never saw that. Images. Oh, that's cute too. That you can cut out. As you can see, a lot of these haven't been touched. I have a whole shelf in one of my Expedit. What are those called? Yeah, where it's books that I need to cut up. So yeah, so I just happened to pick up this fortune teller. I mean, that would be fun, I guess, to make, but I saw it as images. These books are from IKEA. My old dog got into them when he used to chew everything. And again, these you could totally cut images out of. I like cutting these kinds of, it reminds me of like Daphne's Diary. It reminds me of Flow, you know, just, I don't know, like I would cut these out and then maybe put a girl sitting on it, like things coming out of here. So when I saw this, again, backgrounds and just lots of fun images. I don't know if these are still there. These were like 3 years ago. And then this was a textile book from IKEA, and it's the same thing. It's a really nice quality paper. I like to use these books for actual collage journals. I just made a process video. I was working in my, the book is called Granny Chic. It's so pretty and just, it's awesome, but I collage in it. But that would be another book I'd cut up. So I like to look for things in books that are stacked up too. Like I love just creating scenes, you know, with those kinds of books. Oh, this is the gnome book. So this was a children's book as well. And it was just cute. It was just cute. So I'm not like a big gnome person, but you know, I like the images in it. So those are some other ones. If you guys want, you know, the names and the authors, I can link them if I find them. A lot of the times I will get books from eBay because they're cheap. And then this is just the last one. I have so much to show you guys, but I just wanted to kind of show you what kinds of books that I look for. Sorry, I know my thing's shaking. This book I love. I used a lot of these images in my collage journal, and I did it a lot. Got a lot of stuff out of this for my, what is that one called? What is that one journal where every page is dedicated to something? I can't even think. You know, like buttons or, what is that? I cannot believe I can't think of it, but this is where I found a lot of the images. This is Amy Butler. She does those fabrics. And this was, I think, 2 of her magazine issues into one book. And again, it's just these images and colors. I like to cut a lot of circles out of these, you know, and collage circles. And I've cut up a lot of this from when I was out at the park and stuff like that. So I love finding books like these. And sometimes I'll find these books because other YouTubers have shared them. I also like to get calendars. This one, and I had another one as well. It's called Sugar Shot Girls. And this was when I was really into mixed media and art journaling. But I just loved these girls. And I would definitely use these on a page. So a lot of the things I'm showing, I guess, are kind of big. You know, it's not so much like little images, I guess, but calendars. Dollar Tree has like a whole bunch. I've got a flower one or like a rose one from there before. And rose, oh my gosh, I have so many rose books. This one I showed a while ago. I love just looking, these are my favorite types of books. The paper and everything. I showed you guys this, and I haven't cut it up because, one, it's so pretty, but I don't know if I want, oh, there's just so many things I could cut out of this. But it also has like collage paper also in it, so it's really nice, and you can get this super cheap on eBay. Oh my gosh, now I'm looking through, I'm like, okay, you know, I need to cut this up. Sometimes I just love the art of cutting. I use a lot of my images, but boy, I just love cutting things out. And then it sucks because it's like you forget, or I forget I have those images, and I don't use them until I find them in my drawers. I don't know if I'm gonna turn this into a collage book like I did that Granny Chic book. I'm not sure yet, but I always look for these. I don't even know what like these types of books are. I love the paper. It's just so thick, but it's just these kind of images, and they always seem to be just like the Granny Chic one, tutorials or projects. For some reason, I'm drawn to those. So that one, here's another one called You Are So Loved. This one has quotes in it as well, but you know, you could definitely cut these images out. But a lot of the time I'll just use the quote. So this one is You Are So Loved. I have a whole bunch of inspirational art journaling mixed media books that I won't cut up. At least not yet, because I just love to flip through them, and I just love the feel of them, and I love seeing all the colors, and so I probably won't cut a lot, but there are some. I think my mom gave me this one, and I mean, it doesn't matter if I do ATC or not, because I could still get inspiration from it, but I plan on cutting this up as with images, and they're like the perfect size. You know, it's just, they're perfect. They're perfect for collaging. They're perfect for making your own. I always see, like, if I see a woman's head, I always just using a body with a different head. So this is like an ATC book. I would never, I mean, I could get inspiration, but, you know, like I said, a lot of the books, I get them to cut up. I have all of this girl's books, and it took a long time to get them all. And then I hit the jackpot at Goodwill. If you ever saw that haul video, I could not, somebody must have just dropped off every art journaling book they ever owned. Sabrina Ward Harrison is one of my favorite artists for journaling. And this one is meant to be written in for yourself. And I may collage in it, but I most likely will cut it up for images. I have 3 or 4 because she put a lot out, and a lot of them are her own personal pages. So I may cut those up, but this one I just feel like collaging in and actually using. I think this was the one, and it came with some die cuts that were just amazing. So Sabrina Ward Harrison, she's not cheap either, but you can find her stuff on eBay or Amazon. You know, if you go on Amazon and then it says like Amazon will sell something. I just ordered a book today and they wanted $29.99. I was like, you know, I did the used. There was like one for $4.16, like in new condition. So don't trust Amazon all the time for things like that. Here's another book I bought. This was $3 on eBay. to cut up. Again, look at that. They're tutorials. Maybe it's because it's just the art or the pictures that they show. You know, so I will just lots of cupcakes but I would, you know, probably cut out pieces from the pages she did, you know, and I love this scallop up here. Like it's on every page and I could just use that over and over because it's on everything. So I look for a lot of, I guess, pretty photos. So this is a pretty popular book. I've seen a lot of people get. So Mixed Media Masterpieces. This one I bought in San Francisco a couple years ago, and this is a journal you're supposed to write in, but I don't like these kinds of books to journal in. But I love this book, and I haven't been able to cut it up yet because I just want to find the right, like I want to use it, or maybe unbind it and like, or take it apart and put it in make my own journal with like other kinds of, you know, books. So another place that I find a lot are books specifically for collaging, and I have a lot of them, but I only pulled 2 out to show you. You know, so this was just like, you know, people are always surprised to find out where something, and oh, blank and I are so close. I guess it's because blank. So, you know, you're supposed to write in it. But I will not. So again, I'll probably take these out and use these as full pages, but I am obsessed with collage books. So this one really isn't, but it's just my style. It's just what I absolutely love. And this was only $12.99. Again, I got this at a Japanese store, but it's just called Inner Ramblings. This is an actual collage book. It's called Collage Therapy. And, you know, these have pieces that you can cut out. And even though it is like collage books, it's funny that I have a harder time cutting these up because I think they're just so pretty and I love the paper than I do other books. It's weird, you know, and this is what it's meant for, is collaging. This one you're supposed to collage into. The reason I don't do it in books like this is because my stuff gets so bulky, you know, and I don't like journals that don't close. They're like, I used to do smash books, and honestly, they're like this big because they're so full. So this is called Collage Therapy. And the last one I'm going to show you, I just recently got Once Upon a Piece of Paper, A Visual Guide to Collage Making. So, like I said, I look for, these are probably the top books, and I am probably on Amazon a couple times a week. I'm probably on there every single day anyways, but just to specifically look for these. And then once in a while, one will pop up where I'm like, I've never seen that before. So one side is a pad of paper that you can collage with. And the other side I will cut up as well. So, you know, it kind of shows the finished products, which I think is perfect because I could use those images. So yeah, those are the kinds of things I look for. Again, I feel like it wasn't very informative. Like it wasn't anything that was wow. But I also look for images in scrapbook papers and Project Life cards, and magazines are a huge one, but I just didn't bring out magazines. So calendars, collage books, kids books, oh gosh, posters, wallpaper, wrapping paper. There's just so many places you can find images online. I just love the art of like flipping and finding things and then deciding what side do I want to use, you know? So, yeah, so that's it, you guys. Any books you want to see more of, or like artists, well, yeah, artists or authors, let me know, and I will definitely get back to you. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. I hope it kind of gave you some ideas of different books, you know, if you happen to like them, or where to find images. So any comments or questions, ask me down below. All right, you guys, talk to you later. Bye.